welcome to Your Health in Your Hands. I'm Dr. David Ajibade with the Brain and Body Foundation. I hope you are self-quarantining. I hope you are self-isolating. I hope you're giving yourself your social distancing. I hope you are maintaining your hygiene. I hope you are being watchful of your environments as well. If you remember our last presentation, we talked about the importance of going beyond these common sense practices and going on to protecting and building your immune system and your respiratory systems, because that is where the COVID-19 targets. All right, so we're going to talk more about this and really go into some detail. We're going to show you some videos as well, because I think it's very important that you hear it not just from me, but from experts as well who are specifically focused on those areas. So what does it take to boost and build the immune system? There's no question about it. If the immune system is strong, there's more likelihood that you'll be able to ward off the virus, and more likelihood you'll be able to recover. Your disease will not be as severe as someone who has a very weak immune system or a very weak respiratory system. So there are things that you need to know to avoid, and there are things that you need to know to do. I love this Turkish proverb. It says that to ride a horse well, you must not only know how to ride well, you must also know how to fall well or fall properly. And so the things that you want to avoid when it comes to the immune system, you want to avoid sugar. They're the obvious things. You want to avoid sugar, you want to avoid smoking as much as possible, you want to avoid starchy foods. And here's a really big one, and I feel a little uncomfortable about saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway, well, because we have to tell you the truth. Bread. They found out that bread, yes, pure white bread that we eat a lot, we grew up eating, is one of the worst things you can do to your immune system. Why? Because it converts to sugar really, really rapidly. And what sugar does is that sugar depresses your immune cells. It makes them slow, it makes them sluggish, it actually kills, in some cases, immune cells. So you want to do things that you want to avoid putting things in your body, and fried foods too. You want to reduce your fried foods. You want to go with more of the soft cooked foods. You want to go with a lot of the vegetables, more vegetables than fruits. Why? Because fruits have a lot of sugar as well. They're better than the processed foods, obviously, but vegetables have a lot more of the fiber and the right things you want to eat. The key thing, speaking about what you need to do to boost your immune system, is what is known as the microbiome. And there are diverse studies, diverse experts have said that the number one thing that is the most important part of your immune system that will help to stand between you and viruses and bacteria is a healthy, diverse microbiome. That is your number one, your first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. Now, what the heck is a microbiome? Well, I'm going to show you that, but to show you that, I want to draw a picture. So let's go to the board.
What are some of the things you can do to avoid getting the coronavirus? So here's the deal. Your immune system is really good at handling any virus as long as you have a functioning, intact microbiome. And there are so many very good studies that show a diverse, healthy microbiome is the first line of defense for any viral or bacterial attack. Your microbiome is the first line of defense. Now, if you have a leaky gut, and I talked about this extensively, your immune system is so diverted to the attack at your leaky gut that you literally don't have enough of a robust immune system at the borders, at your mouth, at your nose, in your lungs, to fight out a normal pathogen that the immune system could attack. Now, here's the other really scary thing. The best thing you can do to make sure your immune system doesn't work properly is to eat sugar or things that turn into sugar, because sugar suppresses the immune system better than almost any other thing that you can do. So the last thing you want to do is have a candy bar or even a bowl of cereal or a piece of bread, which quite frankly is pure sugar. So the more you stay away from sweets, cookies, crackers, cereals, candy during this season, the better off your immune system is going to be.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that short video by Dr. Gundry. Dr. Gundry is actually a world-famous cardiothoracic surgeon. I mean, this is the top of the pyramid when it comes to health and medicine, and he's talking about your microbiome. So let's say a little bit more about what that actually means. So this is a picture. I know this is a picture of the supposed to be a picture of the digestive system. This is the mouth. You can see his little nose here. So food comes in here, and it begins the digestion from here, and it gets into the stomach, where it gets more digestion. It gets into the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum and the jejunum, and then the small intestine, the ileum, where there's more digestion. And then this is actually where the action happens in the large intestine, before the food either it comes out as poop, and then you got some gas. Okay, that's what gives up a bad smell. The majority of the microbiome, and the microbiome is really a whole bunch of bacterial cells, bacteria and other parasites and other things that are in the large intestine. These, they have found out, they do a lot of things. They help to train the immune system. They help in the digestion. They help in the movement of particles down the line. They do a lot of things, but the most important thing is that they help in developing and training the immune system, so the immune system is able to fight off and ward off bacteria and viruses. So what they're saying, or what Dr. Gundry is saying, is that the more diverse, the more different the microbes are, and the more you have of the healthy kinds. The ratio is supposed to be 85% healthy microbes to 15% not so healthy microbes, 85 to 15. So the healthier this part is, that's the dirtiest part of the digestive system. Apparently it seems to be the most important part of your digestive system for some reason. The healthier this is, and the more the different kinds are, the better your immune system will be. And what we know is that 70 to 80% of your immune cells lie in this digestive system. Most of them are here, and of course this is the bloodstream, and there are immune cells that line the blood vessels all throughout the digestive system, waiting and protecting against any leakage or any invasion from the gut into the small intestine. So the most important thing when you're talking about the immune system is your gut, and that's why we talk about the gut so much. It's very important that you keep the gut healthy. A healthy gut will give you a healthy microbiome, and which will give you a healthy immune system. All right, we're going to talk about the other things that help to build your immune system and make them strong. Many of them, you've heard me talk about them before, but it bears repetition, because at this point, I'm still running into people who don't know anything about some of the things I'm going to talk about. So we'll be right back.
How can you support your immune system so you're less susceptible to the virus? That's a great question. So, number one, you've got to make sure you have adequate levels of vitamin D3. And the average person should take a bare minimum of 5,000 international units of vitamin D a day. A paper written from the University of California, San Diego a few years ago, after extensive research into humans, think that the average American should take 9,600 international units of vitamin D3 a day to have adequate levels of vitamin D. I personally have not seen vitamin D toxicity after 20 years of measuring this in thousands, tens of thousands of patients. Again, I recently talked with Mark Hyman. In his practice, he has yet to see vitamin D toxicity. I personally don't think it exists, But even if it does, 10,000 international units a day is what the University of California, San Diego recommends. You probably have heard me talk before. If I feel I am coming down with a virus, I personally take 150,000 international units of vitamin D3 a day for 3 days in a row. That's almost 500,000 international units of vitamin D over a 3-day period. I've been doing that now for about 18 years. I'm not dead yet, and so far so good. Now the second thing you can do, and this actually harkens back to Linus Pauling's research. Linus Pauling is the famous vitamin C doctor. He won 2 Nobel Prizes in physics, but he believed, and there's very excellent evidence that IV vitamin C is one of the most effective combatants against viral illnesses. And quite frankly, in some of my patients with severe pneumonia from the SARS virus, I actually gave them intravenous vitamin C continuously in the ICU. And one woman, quite frankly, who I remember very well, a very young lady, actually survived, and when she was on a ventilator, and we literally couldn't oxygenate her blood with traditional means, and I was able to get a waiver from our pharmacy to give her vitamin C IV, and that's actually what turned her around. Now, you're not going to get IV vitamin C before you go on a trip or take it on the airplane. So what I recommend is one of 2 things. Either take timed release vitamin C capsules, and they're readily available. I like 1,000 milligrams twice a day. But if you don't have that, go to any drugstore, any health food store, get the chewable vitamin C tablets. They come in 500 milligrams. And chew 500 milligrams of vitamin C at least 4 times a day. Here's the problem with vitamin C. It's water soluble, and we excrete the dose literally after 2 to 3 hours. So then it's gone. So you always have to replenish your vitamin C. And again, the easiest way to do this is just carry a bunch of vitamin C tablets with you and chew them every 4 hours, and you'll be just fine. Third, mushrooms are some of the best ways to activate your immune system, to activate killer cells, which are white blood cells that will go after viruses. Consider getting yourself some mushroom capsules, and that's another great way of adding another layer of defense. Lastly, sunlight is one of the best ways to generate vitamin D in your bloodstream, the active form. So whatever you do, get yourself a half an hour exposure to sunlight wherever you are. And that's one of the best tricks. Yeah, so if you think that you're getting infected with, a virus, whether it's the flu, whether it's the coronavirus, this is exactly what I would recommend to you. And again, it's exactly what I do when I feel like I'm coming down with something. If you want to, just say, wow, that sounds like a lot of vitamin D, which I used to think was, I used to take 50,000 a day for 3 days in a row. And interestingly enough, I had a few episodes of breakthrough. In other words, it didn't work. And so I talked with one of my colleagues in Texas, Dr. Osborne, who said, that's much too low a dose. No wonder. You should be taking 150,000 a day. I said, wow, that's a lot. And he said, oh, that's actually what you need to work. Vitamin D is actually one of the best antiviral hormones there is, and it's a hormone, it's not a vitamin. It's good for what ails you or what might get you.
All right, so You probably were shocked when Dr. Gundry, who, by the way, is a world-famous cardiothoracic surgeon. I mean, this is somebody at the top of his field, and he understands what's going on. And vitamin D, you would think that most people will not think much about vitamin D, but we've been shouting about vitamin D3 for quite a while. So if you're not taking vitamin D3, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing? I mean, those things should be flying off the shelves by now. So please get your vitamin D and make sure you get about 10,000 international units. That's what makes sense, especially if you're a black person, and most of you are black, I'm speaking to. If you're overweight, if you're fighting an illness, you need a lot of vitamin D. As he mentioned, if it's during the winter, if it's cold, if you're not going out in the sun like you should, you need more vitamin D. If you're dealing with a chronic illness like diabetes and asthma or whatever other kind of condition you have, you need more vitamin D. Now, speaking about asthma, I want to talk about the respiratory system for a while here, because many times we tend to ignore that. And again, because COVID-19 specifically focuses on the respiratory system, you need to be aware of what it takes to strengthen it. And vitamin D, again, comes into play when it comes to the respiratory system. Vitamin D, in fact, many studies have shown that vitamin D deficiency is associated with recurrent upper respiratory tract infection, chronic sinusitis with polyps, otitis media, which is ear infection, head and neck cancer recurrence, adenotonsillar hypertrophy, and OSA. Well, listen, I'm not going to bother you with what all that means. They found out that vitamin D3 replacement reduces frequency of upper respiratory tract infection. Yes, I know of COVID-19 is a lower respiratory tract infection, but remember, this thing starts in the upper respiratory tract. And speaking of vitamin A, if you look at vitamin A, the results and the statistics and the research shows that vitamin A is crucial, absolutely crucial for the development of the respiratory tract. They found out that it helps even in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, like those that have happened as a result of recurrent damage to the lungs from pneumonia or from smoking. They found that vitamin A helps in the immune system. It works with the immune system because it actually helps in the lining. The immune system is present in the lining of the respiratory tract. Vitamin A helps stimulate the lining of the respiratory tract, the immune cells there, so that they can fight off and ward off viruses and bacteria like you see with COVID-19. So all those things that we talked about and we showed that's going on when the COVID-19 attacks the respiratory system, having good amounts of vitamin D, having good amounts of vitamin A can help in the amelioration or the reduction in the effects of those things. Now, where can you get vitamin A? Where can you get vitamin D? The easiest place to get the combination of the two is cod liver oil. So you need good amounts of cod liver oil. That will help you give you those two. But I don't want to just leave it to cod liver oil. Remember, vitamin D3 is one of the safest things in your body that you can put in your body. And vitamin A, maybe not so safe, because vitamin D, I mean, as Dr. Gundry has said, there are very few instances. He has not seen any in his 20 years of working with vitamin D, with himself and with his patients. He has not seen any issues of toxicity, so you have nothing to lose. Remember, we've spoken about vitamin C as well. And again, there's a lot of criticism about vitamin C. I don't know why. I mean, maybe because it's not a drug. But vitamin C, remember, the lining of your gut, the lining of your respiratory system is made primarily of collagen. So anything that damages collagen is a threat. The body will use up vitamin C to repair or attempt to repair damage. So the more vitamin C that is available, the more you'll be able to repair the damage. And it does a lot more things than that. In fact, there are even research claims that it is an antiviral. Vitamin C, yes, simple vitamin C can be an antiviral and can actually works as an antiviral and can destroy and address viruses. Again, vitamin C is really safe. There's nothing to lose. As a matter of fact, China is now using IV vitamin C to treat its patients. There must be something they're doing right. They are no longer, the virus started there and it's now coming down. In fact, it has leveled off and it's coming down. So it means that they are doing something right. So please, 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 not just vitamin C that should be flying off the shelves, vitamin D should be flying off the shelves as well. And if you can get cod liver oil, get cod liver oil as well. I don't want to end this show without talking about the laws of life. And we've mentioned the laws of life over and over and over again. These are things that affect, we know that your thoughts and your feelings affect your immune system. We know that your words, negative or positive, affect your immune system. We also know that the kind of work you do, your relationships, what you do with your body affect your immune system. So please, as much as possible, you want to reduce your stress, go out into the sun. The sun is so important for our health. It does more than just heat you up. It also provides vitamin D. Not only does it provide vitamin D, it helps your body produce chemicals that accelerates the movement of fluids and blood through your body. In fact, it helps to dilate the blood vessels. So that's important as well. You also, when I'm talking about stress, you also want to be able to sleep well. You want to reduce your fights with your spouse. You want to exercise, and exercising out in the sun is probably the best combination. You want to be able to be happy. In fact, I was watching one tutorial on the immune system, and the lady who is an immunologist, I love it the way she said it. She said, your immune system likes you to be happy. I mean, this isn't a woo-woo yoga person who just loves life and everything. This is a hardcore scientist saying that your immune system likes you to be happy. So anything that makes you happy will help to strengthen your immune system. So everybody differs. If it's like watching movies, if it's hanging out with your friends, if it's going shopping, although you can't do too much shopping these days. If you're doing any of those things that give you joy, you're going to find out that your immune system will be healthier for it. So I hope this serves you. Remember, your health is in your hands. You need to take the right actions, and you can only take the right actions if you've been given the right kind of information, and that's what we hope we've been doing here. Again, you can reach out to us on all our platforms. The videos are all archived on our website. So stay tuned and stay safe. Stay safe. God bless. Bye.
Is there anything you can do on airplanes and in airports to avoid contracting the virus? First of all, hand washing is still the #1 recommendation for the CDC. That and that alone will fix most of the problems. Okay, so I do not wipe down trays. I actually don't let the tray down. I use, if I want to watch a movie or something, I use my own iPad. I don't use the touch screen on, if there's one on the seat. Carry your own stuff. That's the easiest way. Plus, why in the world would you put the tray down? Because you're certainly not going to eat the airline food. You're going to bring your own food that you brought from home that you made. So I see absolutely no reason to put a tray down. Even if you have kids, you better be feeding them the food you made rather than exposing them to the crap on airlines. Do you need to carry hand sanitizers? I have absolutely never used these things. I like my skin microbiome. Your skin microbiome is the #1 defense system against other bacteria and other viruses. So no, I don't recommend using hand sanitizers. Simple soap and water is all you need, and that's all you need to do.